It was supposed to be a routine afternoon, just another day on the job. But when Officer Daniels, a young white cop eager to prove himself, spots a black man in plain clothes standing near an unmarked vehicle, he doesn't hesitate. Without asking questions, he storms over, voice sharp, demanding ID. The man, calm but visibly annoyed, reaches into his pocket, only for Daniels to snatch his arm, pushing him against the car. Bystanders start recording, murmurs ripple through the crowd. But then, something shifts. The man being humiliated is not just anyone. He's Captain Reynolds, a high-ranking officer, and Daniels' superior. The realization hits like a freight train. But what happens next isn't just about one bad decision. It's about power, respect, and the moment that changes everything. Stay tuned, because what follows will leave everyone, Daniels, Reynolds, and the entire department, facing a truth they never saw coming. For a split second, there's silence. Then, Captain Reynolds locks eyes with Officer Daniels, his expression unreadable. The crowd leans in, waiting for what's next. Daniels, still gripping Reynolds' arm, starts to realize something is wrong. The expensive watch, the calm authority in the man's posture, it all clicks too late. "Let go of me," Reynolds says, his voice steady but firm. Daniels hesitates, but before he can react, another officer rushes over. "Daniels, what are you doing?" That's Captain Reynolds. The words hit like a punch. The rookie officer's face drains of color. Reynolds straightens his uniform, brushing off the humiliation like dust. But the damage is done. The people watching aren't just going to forget. Phones are still recording, eyes locked on the scene. Daniels stammers an apology, but Reynolds doesn't move. He studies him, measuring his next move. Because this isn't just about one mistake, this is about something bigger. The tension in the air is thick, almost suffocating. Officer Daniels swallows hard, his pulse racing. He's messed up, badly, but there's no taking it back. The bystanders whisper, their camera phones still pointed at him, capturing every second. Some shake their heads. Others just watch, waiting to see what the captain will do. Reynolds exhales slowly, his sharp eyes never leaving Daniels. "You assume a lot, officer," he says, his voice calm but laced with something heavier, disappointment. Daniels doesn't know what to say. His training didn't prepare him for this. A mistake like this could end his career, and he knows it. Meanwhile, inside the station, word spreads fast. Officers glance at their phones, watching the footage circulate. Some exchange uneasy looks. Others mutter about how bad this could get, not just for Daniels, but for the entire department. The chief sees the video too, and his next move will change everything. Daniels feels the weight of every stare, every phone still recording. His mind races. How did this happen? He was just doing his job. But deep down, he knows that excuse won't save him. Captain Reynolds stands tall, his expression unreadable, but his silence speaks louder than words. He's been here before. He knows exactly what this moment means, not just for him, but for Daniels, for the department, for everyone watching. Just then, a patrol car pulls up. The police chief steps out, his face tight, his eyes scanning the scene. Officers straighten up. The crowd murmurs, sensing something big is about to happen. Daniels stiffens as the chief walks toward them, his polished shoes clicking against the pavement. He stops inches from Daniels and Reynolds, his gaze shifting between them. Inside. Now. His voice is low, firm, leaving no room for argument. The air is thick with unspoken words. Whatever happens next will change everything. Inside the station, the tension is suffocating. The chief's office door slams shut behind them. Daniels stands stiffly, his palms sweating, while Captain Reynolds remains calm, watching everything unfold. The chief leans against his desk, arms crossed, his gaze locked on Daniels. "Do you have any idea what you've just done?" His voice is low, measured, but there's an edge to it. Daniels opens his mouth to speak, but no words come out. Reynolds finally steps forward. "Let's be honest. "This isn't just about Daniels," he says, his tone even but heavy with meaning. The chief exhales sharply, rubbing his temple. He knows Reynolds is right. This isn't the first time something like this has happened, but it's the first time it's been caught on camera, by multiple people. And now the video is everywhere. Then the door bursts open. A young officer rushes in, phone in hand, face pale. "Chief, it's worse than we thought." He hesitates. "Someone just leaked Daniel's personnel file." Daniel's breath catches. His mistakes, his record, everything, are now public. The scandal has just exploded, and there's no way to contain it. The room falls silent. Daniel's chest tightens as the weight of the situation crashes down on him. His personnel file, his entire career, exposed for the world to see. His hands clench into fists. "Who leaked it?" he asks, his voice barely above a whisper. The young officer hesitates. "It was sent anonymously, but the media already has it." The chief swears under his breath, pacing. This isn't just about one bad call anymore. This is a full-blown crisis. He turns to Reynolds. "What do you want to do?" Reynolds studies Daniels for a long moment. Then he steps forward. "I could push for his badge," he says, voice unreadable. "But that won't fix the real problem." Daniels flinches, expecting the worst. Then Reynolds does something no one expects. "Daniels, you need to face the people you wronged," he says. "No excuses, no hiding." The door opens again. A community leader stands outside waiting. Daniel's fate isn't sealed yet, but his next move will determine everything. Daniels takes a deep breath, his heart pounding. He knows this is his moment, not to defend himself, but to own his mistake. As he steps outside the office, the community leader watches him carefully, arms crossed. The hallway is quieter now, but the weight of everything still lingers. Reynolds stands beside him, not as an enemy, but as a lesson. "This isn't just about you," he says quietly. "It never was." Daniels nods, finally understanding. Moments later, he's sitting in a community meeting, face to face with the people who saw everything. He listens, really listens, as they speak, their voices raw with frustration, anger, and truth. The road ahead won't be easy. His reputation may never recover, but maybe that's not what matters most. Maybe what matters is what he does next. As the meeting ends, Daniels stands up, a different man than before. This time, he's ready to change.